Hello, friends. Happy Monday. I hope you are having a wonderful start to the week. I want to talk with you about Omicron, about this current variant that we are dealing with, and the 3 reasons why I am actually very grateful for it and our current circumstances. And just hearing that, I know that some of you may be triggered. You may be thinking that I enjoy seeing people sick, and that is absolutely not the case. If you follow me, you understand that I teach about holistic wellness all the time, that I want to see you well and healthy in body, heart, mind, and spirit. And I try to give you peace of mind. I love empowering people with natural health tools that help them feel prepared for anything, because the future is never certain. So there may be others of you too on this other side who think that me saying that I'm grateful for these times means that I enjoy seeing all the segregation, discrimination, loss of freedoms that we are experiencing. No, that's not what I mean, and I'll explain in a moment here. So this was all inspired. The reason I want to talk to you today is inspired by a conversation I had with a friend. We went on a hike together about 4 days ago, and I have been thinking about our conversation ever since, because she was venting quite a lot about her current fears, frustrations, and anxieties. She is getting more and more concerned about these times. So we are in completely different places. But after thinking about all of this, I am more and more certain that what I am feeling is strong, and that this is what is happening. So I want to share it with you, because I think most people do need to shift perspectives and to see people living in peace and certain that times are changing. So this is evident with these 3 things we're going to talk about right now. So I am so grateful for Omicron, for this new variant, because number 1, obviously it is more transmissible, it is less serious, and because more people are getting infected and recovering, it looks like we are moving toward natural herd immunity. So hopefully this is the beginning of the end of this cycle that we have been in, of this variant, the juice, another variant, the juice, another variant, a booster. And we are in this cycle because we were pressuring, if the juice works, that means we are pressuring the virus to mutate. This is nature we are working with, another being that wants to survive. So it is going to change in order to exist. And so the solution was always natural immunity, in my opinion. That's okay if you have a different opinion, but the way out is always to have a strong, vast portion of the population who has immunity against it. And it really looks like we are at this place. I hope I am right. I know many other people believe this too. So perhaps it will fizzle out, or perhaps it will just get to a point where it will still exist but not be a big deal, just like the common cold. So the second reason I am really grateful for Omicron and for what we are dealing with right now is because since this is true, since everyone is getting sick, not just the people who are organic, but also those who got the juice too, who really felt this was protecting them. Everyone is getting sick or has the potential to get sick. And so this means that hopefully we are seeing the beginning of the end of these discriminatory practices. So segregating people, creating two classes of people, which is never, ever justified. So there is no reason for this now, because obviously this is not working to prevent transmission. And so how is a passport going to be the answer if it is not stopping transmission? The reason for the passport, if they do continue to promote it, is just to separate people and to promote more hatred and division, which is not okay either. Obviously, this will be more and more evident to people who were proponents of this practice. And of course, this is a repeat of what we have seen in the past, which was not okay, we could say now. And so hopefully we are getting to a point where most everyone sees that this is not okay. So I am so grateful that this needed to happen in order to get us to this place where it is visible for everyone to see. So the third reason why I am grateful for this variant and for these times is that it is finally getting people to take responsibility for their choices and for their health. This is what I was talking to my friend about, because she was complaining about her work environment where she felt like people who were not following the rules were threatening her health, that she had a lot of anxiety about it. They didn't care about that. And so blaming others instead of trying to heal what she was feeling and really dealing with this anxiety and dealing with these deeper fears. And at the end of our conversation, before we parted, it was such a delicate conversation because I wanted to be there for her. I heard her, but she is not a huge, she doesn't have an interest in natural health. So she doesn't follow my channel here, doesn't really have an interest in taking care of her body naturally. That is fine. But she wasn't getting a lot of this information that could have been easing her fears. And so I was like, how do I bring this up? And at the end, I finally asked, well, do you have a plan? She was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, if you get sick, do you know what you're going to do? And she said, well, I'm hoping I just don't get sick. And that is the problem. That is the problem here. And I know this is a problem for many people who decided to take the juice. It's fine if you believe that taking that did resolve some of your fear, that you feel like that doing that is keeping you out of the hospital, keeping you from complications and death. But if it is to completely avoid getting sick, that is not realistic. And I would go as far to say that that is for most juice. So for other illnesses, that in most cases, it is a false sense of security that we are being fed. There is no reason for you to take care of your health in other ways if you feel like this is a magic bullet. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I asked her what her plan is, I was like, you really should have a plan. Do you know how to take care of yourself? Like simple measures to prevent this, to make it less likely, so you are going to get it, less likely that this is going to be a big deal for you. So I talked to her about vitamin C, vitamin D, and she was saying, oh, I did hear something about vitamin D. So I told her more. Zinc. These are things I feel like I talk about all the time, but I have to remember not everyone hears it. So wanted to share more about this with you today. Maybe if this is not new for you, you can share it with someone else. And I really hope that some of you who were triggered here in the beginning stuck around to this point, because the next video I'm going to make, I'm going to do a longer YouTube video to talk about how you can be a healer in your own home, to give you more tools that you can use at home, not only to prevent illness, but to treat it. And you can choose for this illness to use these natural modalities that I suggest, or there are other mainstream ones that you can do instead. So I hope that this is going to be quelling some of your fears. I know it is still such a weird time and there is a long way to go, but I am in my own world, I believe. I have a lot of peace in my life, and it's not because I am delusional. I see everything that is happening around me. I have a strong faith in my medicine. I have a plan. I have many plans. I have a plan A, a plan B. I don't know if I'm going to get sick or not. So far, I'm pretty sure I live my life pretty regularly. So I'm sure I have been in contact with it at some point over these last 2 years. But I have not been affected. Actually, no one in my close circle, even those who have had the juice, my clients, no one has been infected. The 2 families that I helped last summer, one was someone I hadn't seen in quite a while, so she came back to me for treatment, and the other was a new client. So none of the people that I have been regularly treating, preventative-wise, have come down with it. So we will see, time will tell how well this has prepared us for this time. But again, I am so grateful for the place that we are at now, and grateful that I have this capacity to help you out too. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you disagree. Maybe if you have another perspective, share that with us in the comments below. I would love to have a discussion. So have a great rest of the week, friends.